Okay, so yesterday I was just scrolling through Twitter as I usually do, and I managed to stumble across this article. But this wasn't just any ordinary article, as it was about the adorable pink puffball that we all know and love, with that being Kirby. This relatively small article is basically just a translation of part of an interview between a Japanese video game website known as 4Gamer and 3 developers who work at HAL Laboratory. And for those of you that don't know what HAL Laboratory is, it's the development team behind every single Kirby game, the first 2 Super Smash Bros. Games, and the Mother franchise. Even though the comments in the interview that we have available to us are pretty short, some interesting stuff is said in the interview, and so in this video I'm just going to be going over what I think this interview with these developers truly means for not only Kirby games, but just the franchise in general for the year of 2021. This article is going to be linked in the description of the video, so if you do want to give it a read, feel free to, and yeah, let's start the video. Alright, first up we have this very short comment by who is a developer at HAL Laboratory, who recently directed 3 Kirby games, with those being Kirby Battle Royale, Super Kirby Clash, and Kirby Fighters 2. His comment read, "We at HAL Laboratory will continue to deliver games in 2021, filled with 3 key values: surprise, fun, and warmth. Thank you very much." So the first thing we got to look at is the fact he says games with an S at the end of it, meaning that we could potentially get multiple Kirby games in 2021. Also, he says deliver, so it's not like these games are going to start development in 2021. They'd be nearly finished with the development phase of upcoming Kirby games, which is pretty exciting. Then to follow that up, he says the games are going to have 3 key values, with those being surprise, fun, and warmth. Now by him saying surprise, I think he might be hinting at a Kirby game in an entirely different genre. This game may quite possibly be a spin-off, as Kirby spin-off games vary from pinball to racing. So they could choose a completely random genre and make a Kirby game in that said genre. Then on the other hand, a huge surprise would be to have a 3D mainline Kirby game, which would just be amazing, and I'm sure everyone would love that. And it would also be a huge surprise. The next 2 words don't really mean too much, as I'm guessing game developers always aim to make their games fun, apart from EA of course. And by warmth, I'm just assuming he means a wholesome experience. And all Kirby games are usually just feel-good games you can walk away from feeling pretty happy. Next up, we have probably the least exciting of the 3 comments, as it isn't really about a possible Kirby game. This comment by who was the director of Time UFO read as follows: "In 2021, I want to release another kind of weird game from HAL Egg, and please play Time UFO. It's a fun game that you'll absolutely enjoy. Let me know what you think." For those of you wondering what HAL Egg is, it's a subsidiary of HAL Laboratory that develop mobile games. Now he doesn't necessarily say that the so-called weird game won't have something to do with Kirby, so who knows, we might even see a Kirby mobile game in 2021, which would definitely be a surprise, but I highly doubt it. Everything else he says is pretty self-explanatory, but after watching a few trailers of Time UFO, it actually seems like a pretty fun game, so I might look into buying it. Now for the third and final comment by she was the director of Team Kirby Clash Deluxe and Super Kirby Clash. Her comment read as follows: "We'll keep working hard on our goal in 2021. That is, for as many people as possible to enjoy Kirby games. We have plans not only for our games, but also for merchandise, books, and a variety of events, like with the Kirby Cafe. We'll hope you'll continue to support both Kirby and HAL Laboratory in 2021. So she says that the goal for 2021 is for as many people as possible to enjoy Kirby games. And so I think this might mean that Kirby games are hopefully going to get a bit more difficult, as they're not very challenging at all, which does take away some of the enjoyment from the games. So hopefully this is hinting at a change to that in 2021. Next up, she says there are plans in 2021 for merchandise, books, which is kinda odd, and a variety of events. Now I'm pretty hyped to see some Kirby merchandise. I'm assuming it's just gonna be hoodies and shirts, but one thing that does suck about official Nintendo merchandise is that it's usually super expensive. I really couldn't give a crap about a Kirby book, as I just don't like books in general, unless it's like a collection of Kirby art from the new games that I'm assuming will release around the same time as the books. I would have rathered for HAL to work on a revival of the Kirby Right Back At Ya series, as I just find TV shows more entertaining than books, but it's no big deal. Then to finish it all off, she says there are plans for Kirby events, like with the Kirby Cafe, and honestly, I don't have any ideas as to what this could mean. I'm guessing that it could mean that the Kirby Cafe could be opening at a new location. Fingers crossed it'll open in Australia, but I really doubt that. And the first thing I actually thought of was a Kirby parade. In Japan, there are these full-on Pikachu parades that are just the most adorable things ever, and so I think seeing hundreds of Kirbys just marching along the streets of Japan would just be amazing. And with all that said, it's just about the end of the video. Let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see in your dream Kirby game next year. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, drop a dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel for more Nintendo content, and that's it. So bye.